everyone. So it's a great privilege to meet you all through this program, Steps in Startup Creation. So thank your Honorable HOD ma'am and also Shiva sir for organizing this show. Because if not for them, it would have been not possible to talk to you for this time. And besides that, I thank you all for attending this session well in advance because at a 4 o'clock time, it's more often possible that you can always take some rest and get thing, but you are making a time so that you could join us for this program. I'm so glad and happy for this. So I'm just gonna, it'll be just a casual conversations and you'll get to know what I have been doing and what are the things that you'll have to do before you have started established in 100%. So those are the things that you'll be looking into. We'll be discussing. Oh, maybe I'll require certain volunteers to answer certain questions that I might ask because it just an opinion of yours. It's just to have a meaningful discussion. So that's what we are together here. So for just for that reason, we just have a very good just yeah, a very good meaningful discussion. That's what we are here today. So that's we'll just have that. So as ma'am is saying, I'm the founder of Swap and partner at RSC Group and co-founder of Smash and Splashes. So is like right from my 11th, 12th, I've been started into business. So that's when Smashes and Splashes started, and then got into my me along with my friend. We did other businesses which are part of RSD Group, and also finally, in few years ago, we started a Swap Inc. So basically, Swap Inc. is like it's a training organization which specializes in cutting edge technologies. We provide trainings to colleges, institutions, to industries, and also to internships. And we work towards on a lot of other aspects, also projects. Also, we work on certain projects too, based on machine learning and design based kind of programs. And also, we provide startup mentorship. So based on that is what this program is all based upon. So this is all about a small brief about me. So yeah, we'll get to the session. So before we get deep into the session, I just wanted to ask you certain questions. So since we're all part of ECE and you're well aware of what the program might be, so what is startup according to you? Just wanted to know. Oh, it can be anything. There is nobody to judge you because even I'm a learner at this space. So we're all learning. Even if I have if I'm going to have the say next 30, 40 years of experience, I'll still be a learner at this space. So you can just let me know what are your thoughts on startup ecosystem or startups in general. You can type in the chat box or you can unmute yourself and you can have a discussion. Any volunteer can do that. Anyone?
What is this?
If you were shy to unmute yourself and let us know, you can also type in the chat box. That's also a way of communicating. No issues. Okay, no issues. So let me go with yeah, I have some. Okay, starting a new business. Okay, fine. I accept your definition. Starting a process. Okay, great. If anybody are typing, just wait for a few seconds. Okay, great. So thank you for those who have typed in the chat box. It's great. I could see certain people answering that. So yeah, so that's what it doesn't have to be a tech startup. It doesn't have to be a non-tech or it doesn't have to be any specific. Anything that you feel you're starting it up. So that's basically the thing. Anything you're starting up is something startup. So it can be any kind of the new innovation that you're bringing in, then your term or your organization can be called a startup. So that's basically what I'm coming to say. So you can explore various technologies, various strategies to get to what you can call yourself your product, and you can establish as a startup. It can be varied forms. Okay, so you don't have to stress on particular industry. It should be on a technological industry, then it's a startup. If you should have a well defined product on scaling it up to so many millions, then it's a startup. No, it can be even a zero investment or something like having funding, anything. It can be a startup. You have an idea, it is kind of innovative. What does innovation mean? Something different, unique. That is what it is meaning. So something it's different, you can learn, you can get to that, you can explore a lot of stuffs, and you can team up, you can network, all these things. So this startup is not a single word; it is composed of various words that together put together, you can call it startup. So you can explore your talents, your marketing skills also can be explored through this. So it gives a lot of exposure to you. So that's how the startup ecosystem is. And there are a lot of fundings now. There are a lot of things that you can get to easily than 15 years ago. So people now get it so fast, so easier to they get access to resources, they get a lot of stuffs, and you can explore a lot of things. So your even our first, the latest startup swap, we started it with zero investment. That means that's something we didn't have investment from my side or from the investor side. We started with zero investment, and now we are planning to scale up also. So that we're doing a lot of works. It can be anything. It's your strategy, your thing. So you'll have to do that. So starting into what now I'm getting into the deep into what a topic might be today. So steps into startup creation. So there are like 5 steps, which according to me, okay. So there are 5 steps. So one of those is search. Next is train. Okay. Next is a that means aspire. Next is genuinity or genuineness, you can call it so, or it can the last should be the evaluation stage. So these are the steps. It doesn't have to be okay only this. There can be other steps also. But what I felt is so much predominant and so much more important to the things. That's what I've collected certain points. I've made it by point so that you can also, when you're getting to that, you can maybe explore those things and work. Because when I started, there was no one. It was basically me, myself, all by myself. We had to do a lot of stuffs. Everybody is like that. But now there are a lot of startup consultants, there are a lot of business people, business consultants helping you out, or even I'll just give you offer at the end of the session also. So maybe you can, I'll let you know on that also. So what we could provide to you as a good audience here. So we'll start with it. What does S? S stands for stage. Okay, I mean S stands for search. So it's a stage. Okay, so there's a famous all the world is a stage where everybody an actor. So from that, I just got it like everybody had to make like the actions. That's what is a bigger thing. So I just thought I'll put that stage into our segregation so you'll understand it better. In case if you feel that no, it might be a bit long discussion. So it'll be great if you have some points you can note it down. If you have some questions also you can note it down. At the end of the session, we'll have a Q&A session for 5 to 10 minutes at max. I'll clear all your doubts over there. Okay, so we'll start with the first thing. So that's basically search. So what is the things that you'll have to search generally? Okay, you can know what are the things that you'll have to search. You'll have to search. The predominant thing is that you'll have to search for the problems basically. So that's the ultimate thing of startups, right? You'll have to search for what are the problems that are being faced, what are the pain points that are being faced, and that can actually help you in a positioning yourself as a better brand. So that defines you. Okay, there is ample opportunities for everyone to identify what their problem statement they're going to solve would be. So it can be one problem or it can be multiple problems, but stick on to one or two or three problems at max, because when you go beyond that, for a product, I'm saying for a product, if you can stick on to one or two problems, fine. Don't go to too many problems. It will lead to issues later on. So that's not necessary also. So that's what I'm coming to say. Look onto three essential or predominant points, problem problem statements, so that you can carry out that in a better way. So that's how the startup ecosystem works. So you'll have to look on the pain points, what are those things, and know how you can relate to the customer. So basically, that's how the problem is. So if in case the three things, different kinds of problems that you can solve maybe are these kind of things. So it can be a professional problem that you're solving. So it's for a company, a B2B company, you're solving some problem, it's okay. But that's a kind of problem statements that you will be solving. Or there's a problem, that's a solution oriented thing that you're doing. The next would be you're looking for something like sustenance, something for survival. So those kind of problems you're solving. So next, that is the second category. The third category is happiness. In case if you are now the amusement parks, the companies which provide on the event planners, so those kind of surprise planners and restaurants, um, there are a lot of entertainment based companies running on in different sectors, gaming. All this comes under the happiness or the entertainment factor. So this is again a problem that they are solving. So you'll have to find out which under which you are coming, and then if it's a more professional way, you'll have to think on the ethics, all those things, and get to action. And if it's on a survival rate, you'll have to look into deeper into the problems. Once you look deeper into the problems, you can solve that also. So that is again the better point that I'm putting on there. The next would be happiness. Happiness is like how much maybe that's the product they're selling or may not be useful for them or may not be generating revenue for them, but it creates an entertainment. It creates an happiness. That is enough. Even that is also necessary in today's world of mental stress and mental agony and all those things. So there are a lot of issues over there. People are depressed. So this the third problem is also necessary at of late. So that's something that we'll have to look into. So that's one point about the problems. For example, let me tell you about the problem of which Netflix solved, and that's how they call it. They call the competitor or the problem as a sleep. Okay, so it can be different for every company. Okay, so that differs from company to company and what a problem or the competitor that you're solving. So it differs from company to company. You can get to that, understand that, and then get to making them better thing. So next is like customer. So the next point under search is first we saw problem. Next would be customer. So what is the it under customer? So customer is um it's like how much you can care for them, how much you can have concern for them, how much you're gonna put the value. Okay, value addition you're creating for them. So that's something important. You have to understand their pain points. You have to understand their what their problems they may face. You have to look into certain unwanted with unsolved problems. There may be certain problems just solved halfway. You have to look into that, understand the problems, and get to the solution. So you'll have to get deep into the customer's perspective and get their insights. It can be through surveys, it can be through feedbacks, it can be to anything. You can have an interaction with them and get to know what their problem are. Then you can create a very good understanding and very good relationship with them, and that they can do better. So maybe I'll just quote certain examples for the customer how you have to care for them. No, basically when we started our training programs, there was certain one of the training program which involved a cost. Okay, so that training program we did it, and there was one person who couldn't afford the cost at that point of time. So it was also the starting point of COVID. So people were having less money with them. We all faced, including me, we faced the problem. Likewise, even that person had faced the problem. What I did was, okay, give me the payment a week or a month after. So the next time I haven't asked him, okay, for the money. He paid me in 1 month time exactly. So that's the kind of trust you need to have. So there is a brand called IDE, ID. Okay, so you have the parotas, ready-made parotas that they make. That's not all, but they're making a lot of ready-made products that they're selling. So what they do is they have a colony-like structure. If there's apartments or a colony, they fix a person, appoint them, and trust them with what the products they are selling. And by the end of the month, they'll collect the money, or by the end of the week, they'll collect the money. So what is the thing is that you build trust among the consumers of your product. So that's really important. How you're going to build the trust among that, how you're going to build that is so much important among the customer. Because they're not the customer, so there is a famous saying: the customer is a god. It's equivalent. So we cannot no, it's equivalent to consider him so much, because he's going to give you the money. He's going to make you he is going to make you from survival to making profits. So it's necessary. You need to treat them with so much respect. Even if they say something like negative about you, you can make it a positive point and let them know these are the things. You have to go with patience when you're handling with the consumers. The most important thing is patience. You'll have to have the patience to handle them. So if you're not going to have the patience, God knows you're going to lose all the money. You're going to lose their respect. You're going to lose a lot of things. So even when I started my first business, I was kind of short-tempered person. Maybe for a short duration of time, there are a lot of things that happened. I'm saying from a person who got affected of things of out of anger or out of loss of patience. It's all, everybody's a learner. Okay, see, I learned from them. I'm doing it. I'm doing my third business with a lot of patience. So it is all comes with learning. So that's how it goes. So you'll have to go with the patience also. So that's so much essential. So if no, it's great if you can care for them, you can give the best of the things. So the next thing is what is best required is for the resources that you'll have to give it, you have to get. Okay, so it doesn't come with something called as value addition. I earlier also specified on that, something called as value addition. How you going to develop that? You're going to put on a lot of money into things. You're going to spend on marketing. You're going to spend on how you're going to create something content for them. It can be blogs. It can be web page content. It can be something like something informative to them. So it is all. It can be something like podcast. It can be a lot of things you'll have to create. You'll have to create the value addition that you're going to put for them. This is also very important. So you got to get to the net. No, something if we need an ice cream or something, or if there's a foodie out here, so they want to get to eat an ice cream, they get their phone on, turn on the Swiggy and get an order an ice cream. Okay. Likewise, everybody, if you want, I'm just quoting an example, but if you want something out of hotel, you get to go there, I order that and get that. Okay. There may be biryani lovers among us, so people go to that. When you can do that, if you want something for your professional development, you can. You have to put in the efforts, research and resources among there are a lot of things. There are communities in Discord. There are a lot of Telegram groups. Now if you want to find something, you have to find some people and professional network called LinkedIn. If not, you're there in these forums or platforms, get to that. Okay, so because that helped me a lot. So people approach me for business, or people approach me for a talk, or people approach me for some a professional connection. That's based on the LinkedIn only. So you just have to connect. You have to interact with people. No, don't worry on if there is not proper people to connect with you. Yeah, with time, the right people will always connect with you. Handle with care again there also. So because there are a lot of big CEOs out there, they may get offended of certain things that you do. So handle them with care. Handle no, professional communication is much more essential. So that's something that is of the third point. So the fourth point I would like to tell you is teams. So teams, no, how many people do you think that your project team or your friend circle or your family, or no, the way that's going is so much important in your life? If it's important, just type I in a chat box. Think all those things are important. If it's important, type an I, and just keep your thing. Okay, great. Yes, so of course it's if it's important, likewise, equally it's important to maintain a good team, because the team is any startup is not based on one person. So there are a lot of startups based on one person. If it's like consulting, fine. But if it's more than anything, like more than anything of consulting, you'll have to have your team. You'll have to grow your team. You'll have to nurture them. You'll have to get to know what they actually require. So that will lead to a better understanding of your business. So you'll have to understand them. Okay, so certain things I can maybe say you. Like, ஃப்ரெண்ட் எவ்வளவு முக்கியமோ அந்த அளவுக்கு முக்கியம் நம்ம பிசினஸ்ல who are there in the team. So that's so much important that you'll have to put in the efforts. So you give them what is required for them. So there are certain companies so that I got inspired from. Yes, there's a company called Mac App Studio. A lot of you would have some of you would have known about that. So what do? Is they care for the team more than anything. So inquire of what they do, what they could do. All these things is what their branding is. So no, they care for the lowest people that's working in their company, the security or the cook or whomsoever. They care for them. So maybe you can also say that I got inspired from them. And even at our company, we're trying our best to care and concern, have concern for our team, so that their problems can be solved. It can be technical, it can be physical, or it can be mental stress that they're going to. You'll have to help them out to know in whatever way you can. That'll grow your company as everything. So as a big initiative. So that's what I'm going to tell. And the next most important thing, which a lot of startups or a lot of people think that's not important, but that's actually important. What is that? Is like you'll have to have a good mentor for you. So a good mentor will always ensure that your company grows better. So no, likewise, we always have a professor at a college, right? So you'll always get inspired from him. You'll always go and talk to him. You'll always we will always go and approach him for any concerns or any problem. No, even I used to have a professor at a college, so he used to be so much caring for me. It's like anybody can approach him. Not just me. Anybody can, if they're willing to approach him, they can approach him at any point of time. So that's the kind of person he is. So likewise, every person's life there will be someone, or there will be mentor for you. Choose a mentor wisely. Okay, so we also have to have that kind of ideology, so we can choose mentors so efficiently. No, that can help you in a growth, because a wrong mentor can cost you your career itself. Okay, so it can cost you money, it can cost you a lot of things. So don't put on that. So I just thought maybe I can no, maybe give you a checklist on how you can check if your mentor is right or wrong. Okay, so there are certain points. So check if he's respecting your time. Okay, so time is so much essential. So check if he's respecting your time, if he's giving the right amount of resources to you. Is he sharing the things clearly? Is there a certain people? There are, even we have mentors. Okay, from different verticals we have mentors. Every team we have mentors in our organization. So what we do is, in case there is our mentors, what they will do is, like, they will tell us if they don't know, they'll check and let us know back. So that is something that you'll have to look into. And no, accept if he doesn't know. That's what I said, man. So care for you is also essential. So it's, if he's from your business, if he's from your industry, it's best. Okay, so that's what you have to look into. Check if he's from your industry and he can cater to your needs. So that's important. Okay. After that, let me tell you about certain few other resources or essential substances. First, we saw the problems. The problems, we need to identify that. Next, we saw the customer value that you're going to provide. Next, we saw the best resources that you can provide to them. Next, we saw about the teams. Then we saw about the mentors. Then we're going to see about the solution. So the end of all these things, mentor, all the help you got the best resources. I think you have to have a good solution. This, what is that to be? It doesn't have to be profit oriented. It has to be people oriented. It should be first. It should be in the order of problem oriented, people oriented. Then only it should be a profit oriented business. So then that's how every business has to go. So there may be certain businesses which will thrive even though they don't follow this, but you'll have to actually follow people centric, problem centric, then profit centric. So three P's of solutions. And this is so much essential. So you get to that, you understand that, and you can bring the change. So that's what I'm meaning over there. So now there are like a lot of solutions which IBM creates. Okay, this is an example. IBM creates a lot of solutions, but it's not catered for all the audience. Okay, so you'll have to check on that also. You have to check on who is your target audience. So that will also cater to your business growth. Check on who your target audience is. Check on who you can very well get to your business. And all those things are essential. So see to that, and also do a lot of couple of testing. There's an A/B testing concept. So if you are having some doubts, check on the net also. A/B testing. So where you'll be having two different solutions and check on with that. So that's the kind of thing. So I don't have much time to explain in detail about that. Check on the net. So you will get a lot of solutions for that. So after that, what I'm going to tell you is certain value addition aspects and things that we're going to see as a seventh point. Seventh point is marketing. So how well you can market your product is so much essential. So because you can do it through a lot of things. You can have to have a landing page for that. What is landing pages? If in case just a one page thing, so where people, your clients will get to that and see, okay, this is what you're telling, this is what you're doing, and this is how you're doing. So all these things is called a landing page in it's something like a website. Website with a single page, so which introduce yourself and the brand. So that's something called as a landing page. So look on to that also. And the next thing is you'll have to look on with know how well you can do the marketing at a low cost. It doesn't always require marketing at thousands of rupees or lakhs of rupees or crores of rupees. You can do it with zero, or you can do even with few thousands. So that's enough. Even the marketing cost of our companies, all the companies together, all together, is roughly comes around like 5% alone. So that's the amount of thing that we're doing. So no, the ultimately, if you're going to market your product, you're going to do much of marketing, you're going to put that cost on the consumer. So will you like some product to be sold at 100 rupees, or will you like it to be sold at 70 rupees? For sure, everybody will like 70, because that's how the economic situation is also, and that's how every person likes to. Even if it's the same quality, okay, if I can get at 70, I'll get that. So that's the thing. For example, let's take it. Say the most essential thing right now is uh, the mask and the oxygen. If somebody is giving you at say masks are 50 rupees, but you get at 30 rupees, surely you'll get that. That's how thing. So don't no. The more you invest in marketing, think wisely and invest. So there are a lot of things that you have to resource. You have to develop. You have to develop your Instagram page. If you have to develop your Facebook page, you have to develop your Quora based answering tech, and also you can also use a lot of things. So for Instagram, there are a lot of reels. Okay, so reels is making the business. So if your products are, see where your audience are, so that's what I said, market fit. So where your market is, your audience are going to be, fit that and get to that. You will be clear of the ideology and you will get to them at a better rate. So no, I'll just give you a small strategy that I learned of late. So the thing is that you'll have to create the I'll call it the AIDA model. So AIDA. Guess what does AIDA stands for is awareness. You have to create the awareness to the consumers. So that's what they have to do. And the next, you have to create the interest among the audience. Saying why they should learn this. That should be the first point. Is awareness, and no interest is what all. I mean, sorry. Yeah, the awareness is what, interest is why should I learn this, why should I do this. So that is something. Desire is what I'm going to get out of this. Okay, so when you give the benefits of those, that will be that. And the final is call to action. So A stands for action. So you can concentrate on that, and then the business can flourish. So that's something that stands for A. So I'll just have less time. So I'll just have a brief about other topics also. So the government support. The next thing is you have to look in for the government support. Get to the best. There are a lot of startup Tamil Nadu's forum. You can have some registration, some things are there. So if you type in startup Tamil Nadu in the startup TN, then you can get that. There is something called as EDII. So that's also help for the entrepreneurial development center, so something like that. And there are various forums also. You can get to that and get their support. And there is a Dream Tamil Nadu. So that's an organization that's getting up. They support the startups in certain ways. So you can also get to them for the government. These are certain things that government and certain private operated services that you can get. So next is performance metrics. So before you get to the last part is investors. Before you get to the investors, you have to have performance metrics. Okay. So usually when we do we have performance metrics at our life itself. Okay. So we know that a lot of people among us get scared when we show our results to our parents. That happens, right? Um, Even I had that situation. So just like hesitation to show the results to them. So it's not about the fear. It's not about you're not performing well. It's about the fear of expectation. So likewise, um, there it's similar. No, the parents are investing on you so that you develop. They don't care. They don't have any much expectation of for themselves, but they care for you and they invest money in you. They ask you to go to college. They ask you to do the courses, and they invest for you on various other aspects also, on your livelihood, on your expenditure, all those things. They do that so that you grow better. So that's what they look. Similarly, the companies also look like that. So if you want to have an angel investor, you'll have to have a good what do you call venture capitalist into your thing. You'll have to get to that. So even if your friends are going to invest in you, yeah, they expect returns. So certain metrics that are important over there. So that is like there's something called a CPC, cost per conversion or cost per customer. So that is essential. You have to calculate that in order to make your business better. So calculate that and get to the best things that is necessary. So you can get better results. You can get proper values also. Value addition would be there. Just a second. Just thank you. So the next thing is the value addition that you're going to give to your investor. You'll have to let them know. And what is the profit that they can expect? All these things are you have to let them know. And the other aspect is cost per customer retention. So cost per customer retention. Okay, so in case you have a lead and you're converting that customer, and that customer should again come to you. So that's important, right? So on that basis, you can see that customers will surely come back to you. No, what is that cost involved? You'll have to give them some offer. You have to give them something like they have to maintain a very good understanding of your business. So that's something important, right? So Cred does that wonderfully. We've been awestruck with what Cred is doing. So it's giving out 100% cashbacks. How is that possible? The business strategy is so much. Even I had a conversation with one of my on the startup consultant work. So we had another session with for another college. So what one person is asking was, uh, what if the same strategy is followed by another company? Yeah, what Cred is doing, others can copy, but not the amount of investors that Cred got would any other company of the same type or same model will get. Okay, so you'll have to spend that is they're spending so much cost. So the cost per customer retention is something around 700 per customer. No, for no the profits are 700 rupees they are to spending for every 1 rupee that they're earning right now. But it's ultimately it looks like 700%. Not this 1%. It's like 7,000%. What he's spending for every 1 rupee, he's spending on 7,000% percentage of your money of what you're getting. So see how much of things they're doing. They're doing it all to investments. But the thing is that yeah, you'll have to convince your investors on what you are doing and what the benefits that they're going to get. The performance metrics and investors investments all go in hand in hand. You'll have to look deeper into that and then get to what is necessary. So I'll just take 5 minutes of your time. We just have certain points to discuss. So the next thing is training. So as I said, first just now we completed stage. S, which stands for search. Next is training. So what does training mean? It's like something you can create the environment for your team, for yourself. You'll have to upskill yourself. You have to train for your team. You have to brainstorm with your team. Now, basically, you get a lot of ideas when you discuss with your team. So give them self autonomy to learn things. So that will help them. Because in our team, we have certain leaders for different departments. What we do is we ask them what you think is best for your team, and we even myself or my management team will look into what resources or what help we could provide to them, and we provide that to them. So that's how things go around. So and we provide on the marketing trainings to our interns or trainers. So and also with the sales and sales executives, we do all these things. We do the marketing training, we do team training. There's something called service learning. So this can transform the world. What is transforming now, right now, is also communities. So no, I'm not sure how many of you are part of various communities. It's great to be part of community. If you're not, then check. Uh, I mean, Discord, or check your Telegram. So if you can find something which you like to learn, get to learn things. So that's how about the training aspects are. So next we'll get to the aspire. So what does aspire mean? So that's the third letter in the stage. What does aspire mean? Aspire means that you'll have to have some goals, aspirations. You'll have to work for the future. So these are things that gets into aspire. So one eternal thing is discipline. Okay. So even if you do all the things before, and if you forget your discipline, self-discipline, it can be self-discipline, honesty, it can be um, commitment. Having 100% commitment to your business will always get reap you benefits. So it's not like that. Okay, you'll have to think about that the 24 hours. It's not like that. Even if you're going to spend 1 hour, concentrate, be committed, work towards that. So that's I'm going to say for commitment. So no, get to action. That's the best. That's the best thing that I'm going to say. And no, look on for networking. See, when I started business, the only thing I started with was networking. Okay. Even Dhirubhai Ambani started his business with networking. So even his friends were waiting outside and having some tea in a local shop. He was getting to pay so many rupees, say 100 rupees, 50 to 100 rupees at a Taj hotel, get to them and meet clients over there. Take it network. Similarly, there are various networking platforms, various things that are necessary. You can go and meet networking platforms. You'll have to pay for sure, certain apply paid, certain are free. No, you'll have to search. That I say. Search what is necessary. The best resources are available. Certain things are available free of cost. Certain things you have to search. Certain things you have to discuss with the mentors. All these things are there. There are a lot of free resources, not just for the startups. You can do any technology you want to learn. You can learn at free of cost, or you can learn at minimal cost. There are a lot of resources for that. You have to go and search those resources online, offline. You have to discuss with people. No, every college has a lot of professors are there. Everybody are have their niche area. And what I mean by niche is there will be expertise in a particular subject. Get to them. If you are interested towards that subject, get to them, discuss with them. Okay, so my first year was at college was like I didn't interact a lot of with people. But then uh, from second year, got certain interest in certain topics. Like since I'm also from EC, I got an interest in IoT. I got an interest in machine learning also. So just certain professors were related to that subject. Okay, so got an approach them. One of my friend was interested into VLSI. So he got into to interact and get mentorship from that particular staff. Okay, so that helped him, and now he got an offer in company which is based on VLSI and embedded systems. So that's an awesome thing. Whether you're gonna get to a startup or not, learn maximum. So how much? No, if I would have, even for me, I would have learned say roughly around 10,000 plus hours into learning all my life, except the college or the school stuff. So that's the amount of time I spend on different kinds of learning experience, reading books. Always that gets to explore different things. So I'm not a very good avid reader on book reading or something like that. If I get to look into some chapter and if that's interesting, I'll proceed with that. So that's how. So yeah, that even that helped me. Okay, so certain things that I'm delivering to you are not just from the books or not just from the it's across the experience. It's all the experience that is necessary, and no, you can do a lot of things. Next is genuineness. How you have to maintain the genuinity for your community and for the organization that you're working. You have to maintain that genuineness. You have to be trustworthy. Okay. So, for example, say even when I organize certain, I have an even organization company also. I used to work there. So what we used to do was okay. டேனியல்ட்ட ஒரு விஷயத்த கொடுத்துருமாவா அவங்க வந்து அந்த ஈவெண்ட்டை சக்சஸ் பண்ணி கொடுத்துருவான் அப்படின்னு தட் வாஸ் தி கைண்ட் ஆஃப் இம்பாக்ட் that was created. Okay, so that kind of genuinity should be created not just in a brand, it should be on you. You are the brand anyway. So you I'm not sure how many of you are going to be startup founders or this big business people, but what I could say is, be it anywhere, uh, you can have an exploration, you can learn things, you have brand value. Okay, so even if your company fires you, if you're going to get in a company, there are high chances that if they have to have a shortage, they may fire you. So in that space, you can, when you have a brand value, you can do things. So something that you will have to do, and now get on the testimonials from the consumers. So this is a very important, so that brings more trust on you. Okay, so certain clients of mine are based on that alone. Okay, so for the colleges, when we train, there are certain colleges that they refer. So that's the genuinity that I get. Okay, so similarly you can get, so you can get the maximum amount of trustability and all these things by just by the testimonials alone. So the feedbacks that they give and all that, that's going to make you richer and richer. So don't forget to get that from people. And maybe out of 5 people, 4 will say no, one will give you. Fine, get to that person, and you can prosper with that. The next is last will be the evaluate. I'll just finish with just 2 minutes to spare. So evaluate. How you evaluate on various substances is, you'll have to get to the deep. Okay, what is problem, where you have to have an upskilling, where you have to train your staff, your own team, where you'll have to make on their requirements. If you have to rehire, when you'll have to rehire. If you have to have a very good understanding of things, you'll have to evaluate things. Okay, so you have to evaluate the time. Okay, so in case, fix on priority. Okay, so time management is actually a myth. Don't think you can do a lot of things with time management. Stick on. You have to. What I do is, I prepare a list of what are the events that are important for today, and what is the highest priority. Out of this priority, I finish something around 5 to 6 in a day. So that's the maximum thing that I'm going to do. Focus on and finish the 5 to 6, and I'm happy. And then I just one step I just thought I'll teach you. That is, fix on some goal. Okay, fix on some goal before you want to finish, and reward yourself. Reward, maybe a small reward or a big reward. Say, if you are going to complete your studying or all your works, you're going to learn a technology and finish that. Reward yourself with a pizza. Reward yourself with something that you wish you can do. Or no, if you feel that, okay, if you are so much philanthropic, you can spend certain money or things with people. Okay, so your friends or maybe somebody who's needed, yeah, you can celebrate that way. Celebration doesn't require ourselves. Okay, so when you give it to others, that is also celebration. So even you are growing a startup, what you should do probably is help other startups also. That's what myself and my team also doing. What we know, we are trying something to share to others. So that's the reason even I am here. Okay, so I could be working now, maybe I could get 2 more clients. So that's not important, because imparting what I learned from business and what I learned from doing things, that's important, that it is getting delivered to you. Because you can explore something, and you can do things with that. So uh, um, that's up to that. And with a small note, yeah, you will get a lot of losses, certain losses also. For some it may be very long time losses. Yeah, you can cross over that, you can come successful. It takes time. Even for our first business, we had a, like, say, more than 15 lakh loss within a few weeks. Then we had to do a lot of loaning and all those things. We did lot of those stuffs. Then we came back again, so that's running better now. Yeah, COVID has affected us, affected a lot of companies also. Yeah, but no, it has helped a lot of for us to grow. So that was a very good learning experience. So loss is always there. You can always learn from that. So that's the best teacher for you. So you can learn from that, and that's what I'm coming to say. And it's great to see still 90 plus people staying in the row. I mean, in the meeting to address a lot of things. So yeah, now I'm open for questions. So in case if you have any queries with respect to startup creation and know how you can do that, you can ask me. You can unmute yourself and ask, You can type in the chat box. I'll answer those questions. It'll take some 5 to 10 minutes to do that. If there are questions,
Dear participants, any questions?
yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll start with Sripada Mukundan. So it was like we start as a side hustle first, and then move on, or the other way. Um, and then how did you manage your college stuffs with your startup? So it's not too much difficult. Okay. Um, whereas I miss a lot of certain things. Okay, so I had less time with my friends. Okay, that was one thing that I missed. Certain things. Okay, not always, but sometimes. Where everybody could hang out, I was not able to hang out. That was one thing. But yeah, we had assignments, we had projects, we had a lot of things, right? But still we had to manage things. So that's what I said. I had a priority list, right? So stick on with your priorities. You can maybe do things. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't enjoy. You can enjoy. Even sometimes I take some day off in a week. So what I do is like I just talk to my friends, get relax, go out for a ride. You know, we do a lot of things as friends, as team. We have fun sessions, so that's all we do. So it's not, and also I get time to see movies also. So yeah, you have to segregate accordingly. You can do, it's always great to do. You can have a lot of exploration time in that. So that's something like even I was inspired to do, because it's always a great journey, right? You can have a lot of exposure, you can network with people. Even I'm not sure if I got into some work, I've got this much experience. Network that I got from industries, from political, so people from different startups, from different colleges. I would have not got if I got into any other industry, or if I have not got into this much networking or the startup culture. So that is the best part of being part of startups. Is it as and the next question? I'll take on the next question. Ashwin has, is it advisable to have a startup in college days? Yes, this is the best time. It's not, there is no other way you can say. No, yeah. One thing, the best one advantage is, in case if you have certain losses, you can manage. That's the best thing, because even when I was having certain, um, I was having certain. I said I had a very big loss. Right, I was just around first year of college when I had faced such a big loss. So I could face that because uh, I was just a beginner, so my mistakes was accepted. No, I did something to recover from that. So you can do that. You can explore things. You can market. You can do a lot of trainings yourself, and you can, that'll be the best thing. So you can have, there are a lot of opportunities also. There are a lot of incubator programs. um, Colleges also do. There are like private institutions also do. Even Anna University has their own incubator. So yeah, you can. No, the best time is college, because you can do a lot of things. So that's one thing. So I'll just answer the other question from Ashwin. So do you India have good startup ecosystem than other countries? It doesn't have to. Yeah, there are a lot of networks. Okay, so startup networks. You can interact with them. You can know your story. There's something called as your story. You can check with them. They have a lot of updates on how startups are evolving, how we can do things. So that's something you can do. So it's a good thing that India has a very good kind of startup ecosystem, and there are a lot of investors too. Back 10 years back, there weren't these many investors. Okay, down the line, 10 years now, 2011, 2021, there is so much investments. Even during the lockdown or during the last year, from September to December, there are a lot of investments when compared to the previous year also. So some things were not official. Yeah, so that's the reason it doesn't make overall count. But there are very good investments that come. So you can explore a lot of things over there. So yeah, if you have any other questions, also type in. So by the time I complete certain couple of questions, I can answer those also. So how to interact with staff? So there is no strict rule on how you to have to interact with the staff. One thing is, yeah, even they have their own timeline. Likewise, we have our own timeline. You'll have to respect that. You know, there will be like a prominent joke, right? So, uh, one of the famous actor would be calling up a professor of his and like saying, "Are you a big person?" Okay, it comes in terms. I just wanted to make it a public statement. So that's how things are. So you'll have to have certain ethics on how you're going to interact with them. So once that's clear, you can. As I said, no, I had a professor which was well versed in IoT. I just approached him. I interacted with him, and I saying, okay, this is what is my interest, what I need to improve, what I need to learn. They're not going to spoon feed you for sure. They'll give you some tips on how you can develop. And once you're done with that, you can surely interact with your staff. If they're going to see that, okay, say you are better, they will surely interact with you. Okay, so if you're showing genuine interest, so that's what I'm saying. Genuineness and trustability is a factor that is not just for businesses, it has to be for you as a brand. So it's like Surendranath is a brand. So you have to create that brand value. Even I'm not saying this for a price sake, but I'm just saying it. Even when I interact with a lot of staffs in college, even now, okay, so they say, okay, this person, okay, we'll have a good respect for them. In respect, so give respect and take respect. That's also another thing that I'm saying you. So you can explore that also. That makes you a better person. So I guess that I answered that question. Next, we'll take on the next question. Mm, okay. So the next question is how to make investors invest in your company. Okay. So before that, um, do you think okay? If you feel that your business is so much efficient, so that investors can invest in you, uh, before that you ask yourself a question: will you invest in your product? Okay. Will you invest in your product? Before you invest, if you're searching for an investor, will you invest in your product? If you're going to get answer for that, yes, okay, fine. Will you use your product is the second question, and will you have an answer to that also? Fine, keep it with yourself. I'm just saying it. Okay, so you have an answer for that. The next thing is first bootstrap it. Okay, sell it to few people. There might be always don't look at very big clients. Look at small clients for yourself. Okay, so you get to the clients, get some money, do the product, give to them, do a sale. And before any when does an investor come into play? Yes, when you have so much you have to have certain revenue that you have generated, maybe in lakhs or maybe in crores. So yeah, it depends. So even if you have in lakhs, fine, there are investors who will invest in you. If you're having in crores, yeah, more often people would invest in you. That is saying, like, how to find a better investor also is important. They have to be from your industry. So since the person was asking like AI and data science, so if somebody is from the machine learning community and if they are an investor, look for that. Okay, maybe you can ask people. You can have some mentors. Ask them how you can create a better product. It's all crazy with the product and there is something called as cost per customer, the amount of investment that valuation. So the next point is valuation also is important. How much you value your company, valuate your company. So that's also important because that'll in turn give you better results. How much you give value to the investor. You see there is something called as output rate. Okay, so maybe if you're just starting on your startup, I'll suggest there's something called as Canvas. Can okay, just if you don't know, just type in Canvas business model. So click on that. Now you can now if you get the answers for that, somewhat you're familiar with your things. So check and fill those things. If you are starting, no issues. You can, just now itself you can fill it up. Now to whatever extent you can, be clear with what you're filling in the canvas business model. So a lot of investors look for this technique. How you're going to present that? There's a format for that. Check on with those things so you can maybe get the best out of that. So that's to start with. That's something you can do. Okay. So how to plan the return of investment of the company? Okay. So for sure, don't look into this for the first 1 year. Okay, 1 year or 6 months. So for everybody, do business on for making money only. But no, return on investment is something that you'll have to look past 1 year. Okay, past 6 months or 1 year, close to 8 to 10 months, and then 1 year plus. So that's when you'll have to look on for the return of investment. So for sure, everybody does with investment. We tried a different model, like, without any investment, without any bootstrapping, without any zero. That's what 0 rupee kind of model only we tried. We succeeded with that. Okay, so it's about how you develop, how you create. As I said before, how you create value addition to others, so that will bring in the profits to you. You see all the mediums, all the social media platforms. You'll have to market. You'll have to get to the consumers. You have to where your products are, where your target consumers are. Check on them. You will get to the better results there on. Okay, so that's how you can plan on initial stage. There are complex things to do on the planning for return of investment. So that's something even myself I had a very difficult journey to learn that. Now, if you want to know more about that, I'll just give give my mail ID. You can check. Let me know if you have further queries, and no, this might that might certain things might be too complex for some people. No, it's common. If you want to know things, you can always let me know. This is my mail ID, which I'm typing in the chat box. Okay. So Durairaj.daniel@gmail.com. So you can know if you have serious things on how you need to grow, or if you want to have a call with me also, you can send me a mail. I'll do that. Not for It's not for a cost. So since you have been asking a lot of questions and you could reach out to that, so I'll reply you back. Now we can have a call. We can schedule a call over this thing. So that's the thing. Yeah. Fine. Wait. Any other questions? Okay. If you have any other questions, also type in now, because I will be winding up the Q&A in few minutes from now. So how do you tackle the loss you face in the first year? Okay, so basically what I had to do was I had to take the risk of getting a loan again. It's like a loan on a loan, that kind of thing that I had to do. So we had to take that, ensure that we don't make any losses. There is another technique called as lean methodology. So where you reduce the losses, the other losses. I'm not saying the monetary loss fine, production costs, all these things, and how you can reduce. There's something called as lean concept, lean methodology. Where they cut on various other unwanted expenditure. You have to check on that. We did a lot of those also. So that's something helped us to get better. And also we um, brought in certain investments too, that at that period of time, so we could, yeah, actually that's the way we tackled it. Yes, I answered your question.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so yeah, I guess students are have
Thanks for the
answered I mean question, they asked the questions. Yeah.
yes, sir. Thank you.
You mind it up, sir?
Please, sir, stay and say a vote of thanks.
Yeah, just a second, sir. I just want to give small information to them. Yeah, guys, everyone's just stay safe. don't go out because the problems are too much, which I can see. Basically, my parents are from the healthcare industry, so I just know certain things which are based out of that. People are uh, it is like totally difficult for people to survive also, and especially people from the age of 18 to 25 are suffering a lot these days. So stay safe, wear the mask, and no, be happy. So you can also as I've said, you can reach me through my mail also. If there's a requirement, we can schedule a call also, and we'll just discuss over there. Thank you. Thank you, Shiva sir, and thank you to HOD ma'am of EC department, also to the college management for giving me an opportunity where I can spend some time with you to discuss. Thank you everyone.